Yes, indeed. We're live on KEXP at home. My name is Larry Mizell Jr., host of the afternoon show, and I'm honored to be joined by the one and only Ringo Anchata, a.k.a. Mndsgn.
Perfect.
What's up, brother? How you feel?
I'm good, man. I'm doing well. I'm on the East Coast, just visiting family. I'm feeling grounded.
Right on.
Feeling blessed.
That groundedness, that graciousness really comes through on your latest record, Rare Pleasure. Fantastic. I'm not even sure what number of album that would be. You're so prolific. I first got hip to you with Mndsgn some years back, but this is a big evolution of your sound on this fantastic record. It's very live. You know, I think a lot of people know you chiefly from your prolific production work, making beats, remixes. What kind of brought you to the intimacy that you got on this record, the liveness?
I think it's more than likely just like a natural progression that kind of revealed itself over time, you know, just every project trying to graduate to the next level, and this is just where I ended up. And I feel blessed and super grateful to be where I am sonically, and to have graduated to where I am, and hopefully keep on moving up.
Right on. And you got a team of fantastic musicians. Some of the best folks in LA are all over that record. I was hoping you could kind of name some of them, talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. There's so many. It's hard to only mention a few without mentioning them all. But some of the main players on there is my good friend. I mean, all of these people are really good friends. Family, really. Swarvy on bass and some guitar. Kiefer on the keys. Will Logan on drums. We got Carlos Nino all over the record doing percussion. Low Leaf on harp. The background vocalists are all killer. We got Devin, Morrison, Anna Wise, Fouché. Who else? Also, we had a few other cats kind of pop in and do additional things. Like there was another drummer that came in, Effa. He's also based in LA. And who else? We got Aisha Mars on flute. Miguel Atwood Ferguson laid some strings down. Who else?
All hitters.
Yeah, Keith Askey on guitar. Chris James also on guitar on a few tracks. I don't want to leave anyone out. There's so many. The whole ensemble is crazy. But yeah, like I think that's mainly. Dang, I feel like I left somebody out.
You'll remember when we're all done. They're gonna blow up your line, you know.
I know. They're gonna be like, "Yo, man, oh, okay, you're gonna mention
it's
everyone."
Like that, huh? Okay. Have you often worked with such a large ensemble? I always get the feeling it's more of a solo show.
Nah, this is definitely the first time. Body Wash, I think, nah. I kind of tried to dip my toes into that world a little bit with Body Wash, my last record, which was like, I think that was in 2016 or 17. But yeah, this is the first time that I really felt like confident enough to step into that world and honestly kind of take my hands off of certain parts of the process, which takes a lot of trust, you know, on my end. And also like, you know, building relationships with my friends and also like musicians enough to give them that trust and be like, you guys can do this. And because, you know, I'm not in my community, I'm not the illest drummer, I'm not the illest keys player, or not even the illest singer, but I'm humbled by being around all these people. And I figured, man, if I'm in this community, I think it would be beautiful to be able to show that togetherness and showcase that togetherness for the sake of togetherness, not for the sake of like, oh yeah, I got so on this, and you know what I mean? It's like, what can we really do as a team, as a collective, as a sonic family? So
it's a wonderful snapshot of such a vibrant community, and you know, headlined by you, who's really stretching out. You know, we're really hearing your voice a lot on this record. What got you to that point, being able to sing so much more?
Yo, honestly, being around, again, like just being around certain musicians, I think early on, I was surrounding myself around a lot of beat makers. And not only just beat makers, just people who I legitimately looked up to, whether or not they were close friends of mine. Like, I've always kind of tended to surround myself around those who I really like can learn from. And I think over the years, I kind of just started hanging around more singers like Anna Wise and Devin Morrison, Fouché, Joyce Rice, John Bapp. Like, these are all cats that I really look up to vocally, you know, among other things. But yeah, I think really just being a sponge, you know.
Right on. I know you were born in Dago, and ended up on the East Coast. What brought you back to the West Coast?
It was music. It was nothing else but music. At the time, when I moved out to LA, it was like 2011, and Low End Theory was thriving. They were
What a
doing,
great party.
Yeah, yeah, legendary. Like, I really, when I first started going, I think that was like 2009 or 2010, and I was only visiting at that point from Jersey, and I was like, I gotta be here. Like, I felt intuitively that being there would bring out the best in me, as opposed to staying where I was in South Jersey, you know, Jersey, Philly area. And you know, growing up out here on the East Coast definitely gave me, you know, set up the creative soil for me to even try to dig that far, you know, like trying to figure out a way out by going in. And I feel like I can really owe that to growing up in a place like South Jersey. But yeah, when I first started visiting LA, I was like, man, there's a lot happening out here, and you know, still a lot happening, and still a lot of people transplanting always for those reasons, you know, just like the creative energies, like it's really thriving.
Yeah. You know, when I listen to your music, I always get such a strong sense of warmth, intimacy, feel like really getting brought into your world, your home, your mind, what you're thinking about. I mean, you do that with any artist, but like, you really get a sense of warmth. I mean, I think of Body Wash, you're literally in a bathtub, very warm environment, you know. I'm curious, what was some of the stuff that you came up on that gave you that feeling that you're transmitting?
That I came up, I feel like it's a perpetual state of comeuppance, if that makes sense. I mean, I think geographically too, like having been born in San Diego, in California, in the state of California, although I didn't do much growing up there, I always carried that sense of warmth with me, even growing up on the East Coast. So yeah, and also like I'm the youngest of four, and my siblings were always bumping like hip hop and R&B growing up. So there's just an inherent warmth in that music, even in like, you know, just classic like 90s rap music is, you know, as hard as it can be, there's still a certain warmth there, whether like sonically or even just, you know, all the samples that they're using, it always pointed back to a sense of warmth. So, yeah, all those things kind of just culminated, and yeah, I just always had a taste for things that that were warm, as opposed to feeling kind of more on the colder side of the spectrum.
Yeah. Right on. Well, let's slip into some of this music, this fantastic session you recorded for us, and thank you for doing that.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Let's get into it. Mndsgn, live on KEXP at home.
It was okay.
This is Mndsgn. Now, Mndsgn, we're here to play music. Let's go. 1, 2.
We're gonna skip that part.
Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Just a matter of communication, no hesitation, always holding on to something that's gone, you never own, and was never gonna be yours, always bearing the world on your shoulders, you never had to, and you never had to give so much, just enough. I hope the garden is lush right where you stand. I'm always thinking of you, hope you're doing better. Since the last time that we spoke on the phone, you were stuck in cold weather. I know you're going through the motions like I do, you're not alone. You know you got a friend whenever you need one, pick up your phone.
I'm here, living, and I'm joined by some beautiful people. We got Marcus. AKA Swarvy on bass. We also got Brandon Bay on guitar. We got Devin Morrison on background vocals. And me on me. And that's on me.
Oh my God.
One, two, three, four.
All right. We're live on KEXP at home with Mndsgn. Fantastic. Loving the record, loving the session you recorded. The first single, Hope You're Feeling Better, that seems so apropos for reasons I barely have to talk about, given the pandemic and everything. But I was surprised to find out that you wrote most of that record pre-pandemic. Is that right?
Yeah, which is a huge confirmation of just divine timing always being at play. There's even a track on the record called Mask that was written like way before we had to wear masks. And it's funny because I was concerned. I was like, I don't really know when this album's coming out, but I hope it comes out at an appropriate time where people don't interpret that a certain way.
Right.
But yeah. I'd say like 90% of it was written pre-Panda.
Well, you definitely got it in pre-Panamera, and it just is so appropriate. And I love the sentiment on that song. It's just, talking to somebody you haven't heard from in a while who was going through it last time you chatted, and just checking in. Like, so many, loving, intimate kind of sentiments are part of Rare Pleasure. Was that intentional to kind of capture these very everyday, intimate interactions like that?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of taking what we would more commonly deem as mundane and kind of reestablishing our relationship with that, and looking at every moment, whether it's a high moment or a low moment, and looking at that as a pleasure. It's just a pleasure to be here and pleasure to live this life. I kind of approached this record as if I remember asking myself during the process of writing the record, if I were to, die tomorrow, hypothetically, what would I want to say today? And I think that kind of subconsciously was a driver throughout the process of writing and recording the record. Is if this was my last record for whatever reason, what would I want to share with people? What kind of concepts and thoughts, feelings would I want people to know before, you don't hear from me for a long time or ever? Kind of dramatic, but I feel like it yielded certain results, it made me speak on things that I'm like, no, I want to say this. I at the fear of something coming off corny, but if it's honest and it's really what I'm feeling, then that's not corny to me. That's just, keeping it 100.
Absolutely. I think that level of intention and thoughtfulness in putting that into your music, let alone into how you just deal with people in real life, just charge that record with so much connection. You know what I mean? Instantly you listen to it and you're like, I know this feeling. I'm thinking about people in my life and, how I want to move. So thank you for putting that in there and being willing to go there, you know what I mean? And not do the cool guy thing, because I know that's not your vibe anyway.
That's a good way to put it, yeah. And, there's always that voice that's going to be trying to challenge you during the creative process. It's this ain't cool enough. This ain't edgy enough, or people are going to think this is corny. And yeah, that's one thing that I'm proud to say that I've gotten a firm control and grasp of during the process, was trying to keep that voice at bay. This isn't about that. This is about just being free to be honest and express what it is that I need to express. And if it is something that is kind of trite and hackneyed and kind of corny to people, and people hear it all the time, maybe, then so be it. It's really just what was on my heart at the time. So
yeah. I think the stuff that's trite is when people are trying to pretend to do that and aren't really putting their whole foot in it. Their heart isn't in it,
Right.
you know, and then it's just kind of saccharine, kind of hallmark, because, you know, the stuff that stays with us the longest, you know, whatever the records are, Earth, Wind, and Fire, or Marvin Gaye, or, you know, Shaka, or you name it, you know. They're very universal themes that people of any age can get, you know. It's not super sophisticated.
Absolutely. Yeah, these cats were just being, they were channeling something from a very deep and real place, and we all have that connection, you know, so long as we allow it.
Absolutely. Right on. So are you still making beats the way you've been doing for years?
I hadn't been for a while, but for some reason, like, lately I have been. And I think, I think I needed to revisit it, just I guess kind of in the same way that I'm revisiting family here in Jersey. Is like, those are the roots. That's what I started doing, and it feels good. It feels grounding to reconnect and you know, do things as I've always kind of like understood them to be, making beats and just looping stuff up, laying drums down, chopping up records. Like, that's always going to be fun to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
I always love when an artist kind of stretches and then gets into what is home for them, what they came up doing, but it's charged with everything they brought along with them.
Totally, yeah. It's not a backtrack. Yeah, exactly. You're taking everything with you still, and it's still an onward and upward journey. And yeah, it just feels good to still be in touch with that. And yeah, because also, like, as a fan of music and listener of music, if I was like following an artist for an extended period of time, and not even if, like, I've definitely experienced this with artists that I listen to. I'm like, I kind of wish they would like touch base, you know, back to the OG stuff, and they kind of just take off and keep going in this one direction. But yeah, I'm trying not to necessarily do that. I don't want to be so linear with the growth. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything's a cycle, so it's good to reflect that in your progression.
Absolutely.
Right on. Well, let's look at some more of this progression in this upward journey with Mndsgn right here live on KEXP at home.
Peace.
in your heart. what you even really came here for. Ooh, what you willing to do for love.
we're live on KEXP at home with the one and only Mndsgn. Thank you again. Fantastic session.
Thank you.
Performing that live, you probably haven't gotten to do much of that yet, right?
Nah, yeah, this is super raw. I'm just recently starting to tap back in with the cats I used to play with, trying to get comfortable with the live performance again. And yeah, it feels good though. Feels good.
Nice. You looking forward to getting back out there? You got some tour plans, anything like that?
I got a few shows lined up in LA, some up in the Bay, like early next year. It's pretty light right now. I think I'm, definitely in the queue somewhere. I know a lot of cats dropped music last year, and all those cats, I'm sure they're trying to hit the tour circuit too. So I'm sure my time will come. I think it's good that I have these like windows of opportunities to kind of dial in the live performance. So it's all in divine timing.
Amen, bro. I really, really appreciate the gratitude that comes through your music and through just talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
What grounds you in that?
Man, I don't want to come off like so dark, and it's not really that dark to me. But I think about death a lot, and I think the reason why I think about death a lot maybe because of the inherent like taboo-ness of the subject. But especially this over the past year, it's heightened that sense within me thinking about how impermanent my life is, and I think that's definitely directly influenced like the outcome of the record, but definitely grounds me on a day-to-day basis, just thinking about how tomorrow's never promised. And yeah, I just think life should be celebrated, and I don't think life is separate from death. It's all it's all one. It's not divorced from death. It's all one. So trying to honor my experience here, and, try not to take things for granted.
Right on. And, I really appreciate that perspective, because I know that thinking that way can really charge what most people would call a mundane with a lot more truth and honesty,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff that will outlive you in the end,
Yeah. Yeah, the beauty is in the simplicity. It's in everything. So everything is everything, and I'm just grateful and blessed,
That's right. So the album, Rare Pleasure, what are some of the rare pleasures that you enjoy?
Cooking food, eating, having a good meal with some good company, whether it's family, friends, both. Yeah, just sharing laughs. That's my favorite. Building, conversating, talking about good stuff, talking about bad stuff, talking about the uncomfortable stuff, just sharing good company, really, to be honest.
Right on. Well, brother, this has been that for me, so I appreciate this rare pleasure of getting to chop with you about this record.
Appreciate you. Thanks so much, Larry.
Of course. Thank you for bringing that to us and for taking the time today. I hope people in LA and in the Bay check for you when you're coming out to the venues to perform in the next few. And I look forward to seeing you in the future, hopefully in this room in the future.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's make it happen.
Okay. Right on.
Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed. We're live on KEXP at home. Mndsgn.
Peace.
Discover new music at KEXP.org.